When you are on the go, you need your credit union to be right there with you. Hughes Federal Credit Union makes your life easier. For 60 years, Hughes has called Southern Arizona home and has given back to our community. Isn't that who you want as your financial partner?
Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley, here with Greg Hansen. Greg, Tuesday night was just supposed to be an exhibition walkover against a school none of us had ever heard of, and it turned into one of the biggest sports news days in recent Arizona Wildcats history. Chance Comanche does not play because of academics. Alonzo Trier is still MIA, pending some sort of eligibility concern. And then during the game, Ray Smith appears to seriously injure his knee. These are three of Arizona's 4 or 5 best players, and there's a possibility that they are not going to play now.
After the game, in a very somber mood, Sean Miller said, we have no depth. And he didn't qualify that by saying, for a while.
Right, for now.
So, of course, maybe I'm misreading him, but I thought that meant these people aren't coming back.
I think that if we've learned anything about Sean Miller over the last 6 or 7 years, it's that Sean Miller means every word he says. Mm-hmm. He does not parse, he does not exaggerate. If he thought that his depth issues were temporary, he would have said temporarily. Yep. This, to me, could be the big story in Tucson, Arizona all year. The most stacked Arizona Wildcats basketball team in 15 years all of a sudden has 7 scholarship players.
Talked about using walk-ons, and, you know, I thought he was serious when he said that.
Yeah.
We're going to use walk-ons?
Yeah.
Was he serious?
You would think. Paulo Cruz fills out a jersey okay. He looks like a player.
He can beat you up and down the court.
Up and down the court. He's got some track, you know, if it's a track meet, so to speak, he's good. His dad was a famed Olympian. But, you know, we look at this now, Greg, in terms of a veteran presence and experience. You have Kadeem Allen, who is a JC transfer and a guy who certainly, to me, looked like their best player Tuesday night. Then it's kind of a big drop-off. I mean, Parker Jackson Cartwright's a sophomore. Dusan Ristich is just kind of coming into his own. I mean, who is the guy who takes the last-second shot now?
Throw it into Lauri Markkanen.
Right, because it's not going to be Alonzo Trier.
No.
I mean, Lauri Markkanen has to be the guy.
You know, I was thinking as all this took place, and it was about 11 o'clock last night, that I couldn't remember a day worse for U of A basketball, other than being eliminated from the tournament. The final day of the 1995 regular season, senior day, they announced that Ben Davis, the best big man in the league, was out because of illegal benefits for the tournament and that day. Starting center Joseph Blair from the Final Four, injured his ankle, was out for the rest of the year. And Damon Stoudemire, first-team All-American, was out for his dad taking illegal benefits. Bang, bang, bang last night, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, and it's, at least with those things, and when we talk about benefits, Greg, those are things that you can appeal to the NCAA. If Ray Smith has torn his ACL, there is no coming back from that, at least this year.
That made it so bad. Seeing Ray Smith hasn't played really in a sanctioned school game since February of 2014.
He went down last night 3 times. The first 2 times, I mean, when he went down the 3rd time, Greg, I went, this is just the way he is. I had never really seen him play much. Oh, no, he's just kind of a drama guy.
Yeah, I thought that too.
And then he's doing this. Yeah. To me, this is something's torn or I can't get up.
I read his lips. He said, it's bad. So, God, that poor guy. I mean, forget basketball. Just think about going through another rehab. 3 in 3 years. They take a year.
Ray Smith had what I thought the tweet of the day was yesterday. And you hate to say it, but he said something like, you know, save the pity. You know, I had a boy who was shot and killed this week, a friend of his. I mean, if anybody can come back, it's somebody with that amount of perspective, I suppose. But on the same, it makes it even more tragic that this is a guy who already has that perspective, and now he has to deal with all this yet again.
You think about what's happened in the last few months. Cody Ippolito, starting linebacker, tears his ACL for the 2nd time in 2 years, a couple weeks after his friend Zach Amelia dies. Right. I mean, what's going on?
It's been a hellish few months for the Arizona Wildcats, and in all of this talk, and Greg, we had a special section that came out last Sunday, available on Tucson.com, where we talked about Arizona's lined up perfectly. The Stars could align for a Final Four run. We're a long way from that right now.
When I got home last night, I watched till midnight UCLA's practice game against Masters College, and I went, Arizona can't beat this team.
Right. Well, especially an Arizona team with 7 scholarship
That's what
players.
I meant.
Yeah.
UCLA is loaded. Oregon is loaded. Cal's really good. Finishing 4th in the Pac-12 suddenly becomes realistic.
Absolutely. Wow. How things change. It's on one hand what makes sports so compelling. On the other hand, it'll break your heart every time.
Yeah, and it's going to make going to Sunday afternoon practice game against Chico State something now you got to go see.
You got to go see. You got to see what the rotation's like, how they adjust, what Arizona Wildcats 2.0 looks like. We haven't even played a game that matters yet.
A week from Friday it matters.
And they're already in 2.0 mode.
Yeah.
That's it's going to be compelling. That'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. For Greg Hansen, I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.